very welcome. Remember that this vote is damage control. This vote is not about politics anymore. This vote is about a response to the pandemic, a response to, it's not like, oh, you know, two sides we've never experienced before are promising different ways to handle the pandemic. One side we have to trust, which is Biden. The other side, we've already seen his resume. We've already given him 4 years. So just remember that you're voting for the safety of the country right now. And I don't even know where to start, and I don't know where to end in the corruption that is Donald Trump, from his nepotism to his pandering businesses and lobbyists to his tax evasion. I don't know. I don't know what else is needed for everyone to just not vote Trump. Leave the votes for Trump to those idiots who are religiously cult following, the Kool-Aid drinkers who want to believe that he's their secret savior, he's their underdog, he's their, you know, he's their like, it's like their champion, their hero president, their warrior president. He's not a warrior. This guy, it's so funny how he's just actually evaded and like he's a draft dodger, and he's not a warrior. He's not your champion. And I know everybody has been reading books since they were small. You know, everyone's been hearing stories about the guy who everybody hates is actually the good guy. So everybody hates Donald Trump, so he must be the good guy. You know, like these people think that they're the protagonists of their story, or that Donald Trump is the protagonist of our story. He's not. He's not the protagonist of our story. He's not the underdog. He's not the champions we've seen. He's not Hercules. He's not Perseus. He's not David versus us, the Goliath, the evil Democrats. He's not, it's really very cut and dry. It's a very obvious vote. It's a very obvious choice to make. It's not that we're trying to get that glory landslide win. It's that we're trying to get a secure nail in the coffin for him win. And what they've done with this Supreme Court, this sham, as one of the senators put it, this sham of a rush to get her in, despite the dying wish of Ginsburg. These are unprecedented times. I know you guys have heard that before, but if you trust me as your teacher and you've watched me for years and you know and you can trust me, and I have years and years and years of proof behind me that I'm here to teach you. And I wouldn't teach you unless I know. And I spent so much time this past year researching exactly what is happening in the political climate, so that I could come here on this stage and tell you, so that you can trust me. You can trust me when I tell you vote for Biden. You can trust me. If there are problems in the future because of Biden, we will weather them. But we cannot weather any more troubles and problems from Trump. They are bigger than us. We cannot do it. We cannot fix another lie. We can't fix another conspiracy or corruption or scandal. We can't weather any more heavy hits. 2020 has taken so many from us, from actual lives, to lower the bar, to just reveal to us how low the American people can go if they are convinced enough, and if the Kool-Aid tastes good enough. How many racists are out there in Congress, in the Senate, and everywhere. I cannot believe how bad it's gotten. The only way we can fight this, and the way we know it works, because they're trying to voter suppress. So if you think there's some super conspiracy that voting doesn't work, voting works. That's why they're trying to suppress it. So vote your ass off. Vote once and vote securely, and make sure that you are not wearing blue or red, or make sure that you are not electioneering. Make sure you wear very basic neutral clothes. Take an umbrella and go vote, and wait in the line as long as you need to. That will come back for you. I swear, if you end up waiting 11 hours in the line, I hope it's not that bad. If it's 2 hours is bad, but it's good karma. So if you've trusted me these past years, and I have never really been outspoken about politics or the vote, but if you trust me, and you've followed me for years, and you know that I'm And I am a trustworthy teacher, and I'm here for your benefit, your education, your future, then trust me when I tell you, please vote Biden, vote Trump out, go vote if you can vote. Please make sure that that you're doing your job in this democracy. We are the youth. We will inherit this country, and we have to stay proactive, because we can't just let these old boomers with their weird cult obsession with Trump to take over this country. It's not white power. It's not white nationalism. It's not. We, the brown people, the different, the underdog. That's even, you don't have to be brown. You can be a rational thinking white person. That's how bad it's gotten, is that even white people are attacked day to day because of these other bad white people that are saying only white people get to live in the United States. It's just this crazy, twisted, racist place to live right now, and we gave the racists a voice and a mic for 4 years. We have to stop that now. I'm not saying white people are bad. Don't even go there. I'm saying that they're pretty much in everyone's conversation right now, these Proud Boy white nationalist creeps that the president wants to keep around because of the votes that they bring in. It's just so scary at times. So please go vote. It's not that we want a glory win. We just want a secure, nails in the coffin death, to this administration. Trust me, please vote Biden. We'll weather what challenges come. At least they don't have to do with porn stars. At least they don't have to do with Russia. At least they don't have to do with sexual abuse and sexual assault allegations. At least they don't have to do with nepotism and xenophobia. At least they don't have to do with white nationalists. I don't think we're going to have a white nationalist problem under Biden. I don't think we're going to have a Russia problem under Biden. I don't think we're going to have any porn stars coming out demanding hush money from Biden. I really just want things to go back to normal, and better than normal. And I beg you to please go vote. All right. I'm sorry for the amount of this stuff that's in these videos, but at the same time, I'm not sorry, because if you don't step out just 1 second, quick look out your window to see what's happening to this country, and you don't, like, if you step out and you don't care or you don't see anything, then something must be wrong with your ability to process data around you, because you just have to step outside for a second. All right, so I wanted to do a little bit of everything today, and I want to give you an update on my health condition. It's been pretty bad. It's hard to breathe and talk, but I'm doing better as I go. I took a shot of emergency before class. I'm taking one of those speed up cold medicine droplet thingies. I'm taking my medicine as my doctor prescribed. I don't think it's COVID. I had COVID in April. So I'm much better than I was back then. Back then I couldn't get out of bed for 3 weeks. So it was just crazy. Get up, you have to sit down. The fatigue was unbelievable. But I really wanted to do class today. These are important times, and I have to stay present and active. And I cannot slink back into the cave of obscurity and silence and passiveness and I just can't. So I have to stay active no matter how sick I get. And it feels wrong. It feels dirty almost. It's just not act in these times. To not stay active and not stay verbal, not stay vocal. And that, just because I was sick that 1 week in the year, the most important 2-3 weeks in the year, I can't stay sick. I'm always sick, so that can't be an excuse why. So updates on the community. If you guys like the challenges and you have fun with them, go to the community, go to istebrak.com, and go to the Reddit icon right here. And it'll take you to the Reddit, the subreddit, Istebrak. Right here is our community design challenge, Creepy Elemental Creatures. It's due on the 29th of October in 2 weeks. So you guys have 2 weeks to design a spooky Pokemon type character. So I'm not calling it Pokemon or not naming it that or anything. It's just think spooky Pokemon inspiration. The theme for this challenge is going to be creepy creatures, so that there's 3 levels. They've got to be creepy, they've got to be cute, and they've got to be an element of the fall season. And you guys can really have fun with that concept. So If you want better ideas, go to the last video. I haven't uploaded it yet, my bad. I'll upload it, so I've just been very sick. But the Tuesday of this week, I'll upload it soon. In there, we talk about the different varieties of elements you guys can employ for these challenges, for this challenge. So it could be, like I mentioned last time, the element of a leaf that is partially burned. That's really cool. Imagine a little creature that's partially burned, made of partially burned leaves. So you got the glowing element, you've got the crisp surface texture of a leaf that is dried up. And then you've got the fact that it's a variety of it. So you've got almost like a fire elemental Pokemon / creepy creature. Creepy just means toothy. It means wide grin. It means Cheshire cat. It means, you know, all of that stuff that combined just breaks a little bit outside of the beauty triangle, but just still within the beauty triangle generally. It could be slanted eyes, it could be no eyes, it could be just a toothy grin. Think like the cute pet of a villain, something like that. So that's how you find a good balance between creepy and cute. But I think Cheshire Cat is like the poster child, or the what's the term? It's like a word I'm looking for the standard. It's like a term to deem the standard of something. It's like it's just not the ideal. It's just at the tip of my tongue. It's a word that means the standard. No, not litmus. It's like gold standard. No, it's like I don't know. Could be gold standard. I don't know what I'm talking about. All these combined drugs I'm taking right now. Not the norm. Standardized, archetype. Archetype is a good word. Archetype is a good one. That's a good one, Citizen 49. That's a really good word. I forgot about that word. Epitome, no. No. Okay, so yes, just that's what I think is the gold standard. The archetype of creepy cute is Cheshire Cat. So you guys have that point of reference for you. I'm gonna take my headphones off because they crush my skull. Seriously. So let's get started on today. It's gonna be just like last week, or last class, Tuesday, which I'll upload, I promise. It's gonna be a sporadic, kind of evenly distributed layer of cream cheese of lesson. Okay, it's gonna be around everything that I've wanted to look at for the last couple weeks. Excuse me, I'm so bad. Not poster child. No, sir, no. It's okay. Let's move on. So for this piece, I am having trouble liking it. One, because there's a lot of reasons why you can like it. I think your large brushwork towards the edges of the canvas are just beautiful. I love this. Look, oh my gosh, let's just take a moment and just look at this. This is such finesse, such efficiency, such a kind of like devil-may-care accuracy almost, if that makes sense. I love how you preserve the larger brush strokes, but still providing us with a bit of detail, maybe over-detailed here. However, there are some major stylistic choices you've made that have moved the painting outside of, I'm not sure. Can you guys let me know if this changes what we see? I just turned off my flux, but which is a program that dims the screen for you so you don't get like blue filter problems when you sleep, or blue light problems. I sometimes leave it on. I'm sorry if I forget. It shouldn't affect the recording, but who knows. But right now, as you can see right here, this is a big problem. The ear usually sits halfway through or at the eye line, and then in between the nose. But the ear is slightly beneath. So you can raise the ear up, but that wouldn't be fixing the problem, because then you just have a long face still. The ear being lower is a sign that you had a long face. Her face, her eyes, and her whole bone structure of her eye sockets are actually on her forehead space. And then you've got this forced, like a 3/4 view far nostril. You forced it in. You've got no cylindrical impression of the geometric anatomy of the mouth, which is just 2 cylinders. The geometric anatomy is the geometric shape equivalent, which is easier to say geometric anatomy, geometric shape equivalent of the anatomy of anatomy, period. So if you guys are taking notes, note takers get free brushes from my store, my custom brushes. So that's what geometric anatomy means. And it's just the geometric shape equivalent of the anatomy. The reason why we memorize the geometric shape and not the anatomy is because it's easier to remember geometry than it is to remember specific face by face, nuance by nuance anatomy. So we want to memorize the geometry, and it's just a handful of geometric shapes you have to remember. A rectangular prism, cylinder, and spheres. That's it. So you've got none of that here. And when there is missing geometry, it's not a helping tool or a memory tool. It's the actual nature of the object. That's why we choose a cylinder to represent the mouth, because it's very cylindrical. So remember, it is not just a memory tool or a placeholder. It is an archetype. No, I'm joking. That's not gonna work. It is the it's the actual thing. All right. It's a denominator of the anatomy. Write that down, or write that back to me. Geometric anatomy is the denominator of the actual anatomy. That's what you should write back. Okay, so it's everywhere here as well. And you kind of have this really, really rough anatomy distribution here. It's thrown off your 3/4 view. Some of the eye looks like it's in the front view. The eye corners aren't matching. Really, really rough. As you can see, these two lines are not matching. And then we've got the nostril feeling a little bit flat, and then the bone structure. You've got the far nostril and the bone structure feeling a little bit flat of the nose. And then there's missing cylinder of the upper and lower lip. And then the fact that the eyes are way where they should not be. They're way higher. So let's fix this jambalaya. First, I'm going to grab that and place it a little bit lower so that her eyes are just where in relation to her skull size. No. It's not just, oh, Istebrak's opinion before you start. Yeah, so it's not that. It's not that it's my opinion. It's that it is. What am I doing here? Is that it is based off you chose where you were placing this head shape. So look at before where her head was. And I just need to set up my shortcut because they keep resetting. So image, canvas, horizontal. Because I delete cache folders and all that to save space. I don't know why I still do that. I got a massive amount of space now. But alright, so before, after, so I brought it out. I projected it out. Alright, so I'm having a little bit of trouble deciding exactly where I want it, but this in relation to where the skull is feels right. This would be the top of the head beneath the hairline going up, so that seems a bit more right compared to before where that was the top of the head, you know, including the hairline elevation, because remember, hair adds more size to the head. Okay, and then we've got the cheekbones, which I want to keep the same, right? So I'm going to merge that down, filter, liquify, and then I'm going to match the two eye corners together. Excuse me. Pretty sure it's not COVID because there's a lot of stuff that COVID is that I'm not right now. It's just a little bit of a cold. Right. And then I'm going to try to get the eyes to look at the same spot. And then I can see you were trying like an expression. So that expressions are about the movement of the eyebrows. Write that down. So the more expression you want, the more you have to move the eyebrows. It's really got nothing to do with a slight smile. I know everybody made a big fat deal about Mona Lisa. Oh, let's put a slight smile in and that'll fix all our problems. No, it's Mona Lisa's eyebrows do jack shit. Mona Lisa fanboy would probably disagree with me, but they don't do a lot, all right? So let's just move on from that. And I wouldn't say she's got much of an expression, and the only expression she does have is the smile. I'm not here critiquing fucking Da Vinci, all right? That's not what I'm doing, but I'm just saying it's because she had no expression everywhere else that her mouth made such a big deal. So moving the eyebrow is actually kind of what you want to do if you want to move the face in a specific mood or expression. The eyebrow is the powerhouse of the expression on the face, all right? The eyebrow is the powerhouse of expression. I'm not here to critique fucking Da Vinci, all right? Before Da Vinci visits me in my sleep and kills me. So I moved that up to get that sass. She seems to have that sass to her. All right. And then another thing that you did was you did a very, very basic, and I'm just gonna say it. I'm brutally honest, so it's okay. This is a noob smile. Want to know why it's a noob smile? See, I don't insult without explanation, and I'm not insulting, but anytime we've got some kind of simplified, simplistic, reminiscent of an emoji shape to the mouth when it comes to smiles, maybe everything is basic here, and then we've got the two corners lifted up, and it's rendered well, right? It's all well rendered, and you got shading, and this happens a lot in private tutoring when I'm working with my students, and we're all one-on-one, and I see them do this, and they apply with a crazy good portfolio, and everything's great, and then I see a mouth that looks just like this, and I'm like, ugh, like why? Because of course, over the years we've been indoctrinated, we've been kind of like following all kinds of crazy shows and the crazy amount of styles in between each show, like show to show. But one thing that stays consistent are the emoji style expressions that we've seen in these shows, and the smile is always the thing that, really sticks to us. When we're kids, we always draw smiles, and there was that weird 90s phase when there was that smile that was on everything, that yellow smile thing. And it's just, I'm just having like a weird flashback to the 90s. So this is I would call a noob smile because it is too simplified. Not only is it outside of this symmetry, but you've used the corners of the mouth to make up for or accommodate for the lack of an anatomical knowledge when it comes to the movement of the muscles of the mouth, which you don't have or have not even tried to, look up. If you did, you didn't do enough. In the end, you depended on the simplistic memory of what a smile is, which is based off your experience with cartoons and different styles of cartoons, anime and stuff growing up. So you depended on, what am I dancing around here? It's an S word. What am I dancing around over here? What's the word that I need to use instead of just going on a tangent? Fun fact, Mona Lisa originally had eyebrows, but because of the deterioration of the artwork, it became multiple illustrated. The eyebrow basically disappeared. Cool. Symbol. Excellent, Shivi. So this is a symbol of what a mouth does. So let's talk about how to make the mouth look a little bit more like an actual smile. So we first have to structure it to be as a mouth would be in 3/4 view. And guess what the secret is? Oh, just show the cylinder sides. That's it. That's all you gotta do. You just gotta show, it's 3/4 view. We're seeing part of the mouth in side view. 3/4 view is part of the face almost at side view. It's not exactly side view. But again, when I work with private students and then they have these really, really bad 3/4 view, which is basically squished front view features, I tell them, perfect your side view. Your brain will fill in the rest. The brain is a beautiful machine. It will, fill in areas that if you give it to A and B or A and C, it'll find B. So if you study the side view a lot, you'll see that the side view, or basically profile view, is just what you're missing when you don't know how to paint a 3/4 view. So me showing a side view of a mouth, but still having that front view hint that is the 3/4 view, that's how we end up getting 3/4 view. Well, duh, the 3/4 view is just a combination of side view and front view. It's its own thing, of course, because you still have to study the geometric anatomy. You still have to show parts of either side of the object because the face is symmetrical. But essentially, that's all. And we got rid of one side of the mouth. So it's still ways to go, but this is step one. Then there's placing the mouth in a more anatomically accurate spot for her symmetry line, which I'm just looking at the Cupid's bow. That's what gives away the symmetry line. Meaning in my mind's eye, I've got lines here that meet these two together. And there's the symmetry line in between them. Oops. You see, before it was kind of beside or underneath and not forward enough for that bow in the mouth. The mouth sticks out like a snout. And that's another beginner mistake, noob mistake, is to iron out all of the features. And then there's the fact that it's not a real smile. This is a symbolic smile. A real smile handles the muscles a little bit better. So I'm going to just flatten the image and save before I lose all my info. So that means that I'm going to complete the smile, get rid of that weird tail, and I'm just talking about the cartoon mouths for women that look like this, or girls. This weird little tail that finishes the shape of the mouth and separates the mouth, the lips from the edge of the mouth. The lips should extend all the way to the corner if you're thinking realistically. So I did that. And I'm going to cancel out that bow. The mouth stretches up and expands the mouth shape. So the mouth moves this way and this way. So imagine this is mouth, right? When it smiles, it moves this way and this way. The way you guys do smiles is you leave the mouth the same way, and then you just raise the corners up. No, the mouth does a whole stretch. It does a whole stretch out and up. Sometimes it goes up. It doesn't always go up. Observe faces a little bit. Observe your family and friends. You'll see that the mouth goes sideways to the sides more than it does upward. It moves as a whole upward, which is why I move the mouth up. And then, of course, there is the radial shading. Radial shading is radiating the values out of a hotspot, which is the darkest point or the highest point. Radial shading can be used for lights and darks. It is the best way to blend automatically, meaning that you are blending as you're applying paint because you're applying with really low opacity and the values are just merging together as you work. Okay, so I like that she's got an underbite. I think that's charming. I wouldn't want to change that if I were you. And then the other corner, the far corner of the mouth, or the far edge of the mouth, kind of hides that. The upper lip hides the other corner a little bit. Kind of just barely shows through. That was too zoomed in. Alright. So again, I love that overbite, or underbite. I just think it's cute. And I'm going to add that little shadow. Hi, Yevgenia. Sorry, I can't focus on homework while watching this. See y'all next time. Bye, Steffi. Any questions at all so far? I think a lot of the issues stem from the chin. I don't think so. I told you guys before, when you fix one thing, other things start to fall in place, and the thing that you gotta fix for the other things to fall in place is the eyes. Definitely the eyes are the starting point for all of these issues. So you see how now there's a bit of shadow dimpling, or that muscle contracting, and pulling all of the fat together into a dimple on the edge of the mouth. That is definitely something you were missing. And that is understanding how the face surface planes change when a face moves and expresses something, and the muscles of the face move. The face is full of muscles. These muscles change the polys of a face, so the surface areas. So basically we have a whole new face just because it smiled. So I'm going to try to duplicate your brushwork finesse over here. And I'm just trying to include the hairline as well. And then just grabbing the forehead color and stroking the brush upward to make it feel like we have hair there. Alright, and then this side is really just the forehead itself in front of the hair. So hair is background, forehead is foreground. And so that's why I'm going to give it a sharp edge, because the head is in front of the hair. And I'm going to try to just really relax that brow bone, because females shouldn't really have a strong brow bone. Okay, and then I'm going to flip the canvas and thicken this side of the eyebrow. And you'll see in the before and after what those little bothersome things were, why they were so bothersome. I'm sorry about the sniffling. I'm sorry if that's just like straight up gross. I'm very sick. Some of my old videos, I really sniffle a lot. That was before my thyroid got medicated. That's also why I might be sick today, because when you have a bad thyroid, you don't have a good body temperature. It's very low. So you get a cold very fast. You can't even take a walk outside without catching a cold. So that's partially why I'm sick, because I'm a little bit under medicated and there's no medical coverage in this country at the moment. So pretty much just stranded, no blood work, all that. That's why you should go out and vote so Istebrak can get her blood work in the near future, if medical coverage is actually a real thing that's coming. Healthcare. Alright, so her eyebrows do look a little bit inquisitive. I think it adds that sass. Alright, so I like what you did everywhere else. I really don't have a problem with it. I'm going to add that dark spot here. And then finally I'm going to start sculpting the cylinders. So the cylinders, why they're so awesome is because they tell you where to put your core shadows and where to put your highlighters. The top of the cylinder gets light, the bottom of the cylinder gets shadow. What do you know? And I'm focused all the time to know. No sound is gross, relax. How is my back? It's doing good, thank you. Let's fix that nose rotation. Yes, in a second. This image reminds me of those super inbred royals. Do I have Twitch? Senorita, do you have Twitch? Can you please stay focused? I really need a mod. I don't have a mod right now. Oh, thank you, Kyle. I didn't even see Kyle's message. Yes. Can we stay focused? Thanks. And then there's a little bit of light because the cylinders of the mouth extend outside of the mouth as well. And that's how you get realistic sculpting. Again, you have to learn your geometric shapes. You could learn them in a day. It's not like 17 shapes. It's just 3 shapes. All right. And so now I'm gonna start smudging. I use smudge brushes. You can find them on my store to blend. All right, so now the nose. First and foremost, I don't think we would see that far side of the nostril. I just don't think it's visible. Crap, I lost my gloves. So I'm gonna think half of the face. So how would I draw the nose if it was a half? If it was a profile view. You see, this is why it's important to think in different perspectives when learning an object. All right, so that's the perfect side view. And then what we want to do is move it because it's not an actual side view. So we can see that the nose is actually a little bit too far that way. And we don't really see the other nostril at all because it's just, I mean, it could be if her nose was squished enough. The whole nose itself should be moved all the way forward. That's gonna throw off the mouth and the lip corner. I mean, and the cupid's bow, but that's okay. I'm just thinking about the compression of the far eye. The far eye in the 3/4 view is hidden a great deal. And an adult nose has an elevation to it. An adult, have you ever compared, like, have you ever seen a baby's nose? It's got almost no nose bridge. It's just a little button coming out. And then you've got an actual adult nose, which is a nose bridge fully developed and everything. So what we gotta do, this kind of still looks okay, but I would want to fix it. So what we gotta do is give that nose some elevation. And the best way to do it is to just show, I mean, sometimes the nose skin camouflages with the far cheek and all we get is this, you know, almost combined skin tone. It feels like it's just one glazed value. But we can cheat a little bit and use the cheek value and create a perfect edge where those two stack. And so now it looks like the nose is in front of the cheek, and now we have a nose bridge again. And you can block it if you're unsure before blending. Just block your ass off so that you can get a good idea of where all your values are before committing to blending, because blending is a commitment. Right, and then as you can see, that is just an awkward presence in that far nostril. So I'm gonna get rid of it and just start sculpting the nose, because it's coming off the face, it's lifting up and into orbit, so it's not that present, the far side. Right, and then I'm gonna just, this is a really low resolution painting, so, excuse me. Okay, and then finishing off with that nose shadow. The nose shadow should not extend low enough to touch the mouth. If it does that, it means that every other shadow on the face has also extended that far. So I can show you this really quickly if Portrait Studio loads. So my computer is acting really funny. See? Like, it just does this. It's not my Portrait Studio, it's my Explorer. It just freaks out every time. I need to fix this computer. So I'm just running Portrait Studio just so I can show you guys once and for all. I am so sick of seeing this long ass shadow going all the way down while there is no shadows up here to reinforce that light scenario. Shadows that go that far down are not actually possible if the light is at a point where it's not casting off the eye socket. A shadow off the nose that touches the mouth is like a light that is directly above the head, not at a 45-degree angle. So when you're working with faces, the 45-degree angle is like this. It's pointing the light at the eyes so that we don't get these extensive cast shadows. But when you guys give me a long ass shadow for a nose, sorry, I'm losing my voice. What happens is that you are telling me that the cast shadow is like this. And when a cast shadow is like that, that means that the eye sockets have also cast a shadow down. So, oh, there we go. So when the shadow, just take a look over here. Good, it's on low res. So when a shadow is on the halfway, which is what you guys are supposed to do, right? So this is the cast shadow. Halfway through, the eyes are in a nice placement where we don't have these extensive cast shadows. And then we've got the cast shadows that touch the mouth. Look at what happens to the eyes. But you guys give me only one cast shadow for the cast shadow for the nose, that is this light source, and a cast shadow for the eyes, that is this light source. That's not physically possible. Keep your cast shadows traveling halfway to the mouth, please. Who is this person? Hi Ben, how are you? Okay, so take it easy with that cast shadow. And then we've got the corners of the inner and outer corners of the eyes. So this is a little bit more complicated because it means that I have to kind of redraw the eye. The eyebrow has lifted so much that it's kind of nearing the eyebrow bone, which is why I'm giving it eyebrow and forehead highlighters. Taking it easy with that cast shadow there. For 3/4 view, what happens is that we see the side of the eye more than the inner corner. Okay. I'm gonna leave most of the stylized stuff intact just because it's part of the charm. I don't think that style should be something pursued if you don't have a good hold over your perspective yet, meaning you don't know how to do a 3/4 view. But if it happens accidentally, it's just the spontaneity of being an artist, I guess. But it's not good to use that spontaneity excuse to, what's the word? Shrill? Shrink? Shank? Shank out of your, what's the word, Kyle? Skank? No, it's not skank. To try to get an excuse not to do your studies. What's the term? To stink? No, it's not stink. To stink out of your form studies. It works. Alright. I don't know what's going on. Never mind, Kyle. Never mind. Too much pressure on Kyle today. Shirk. Thank you, Yasmin. You're the best. Thank you. Shirk out of your studies. Shirk. I'll remember that word now. All right. So I think we've got everything down. We've got a nose bridge. We've got the side of the nose. I'm just using my smudge brush. So Portrait Studio and my brushes are all available on my store, Istebrak.com. Just click on the store icon. Portrait Studio will be on sale in like 3 to 4 weeks. The current price is a sale price, but it'll be even more on sale within the next next month or so, especially for the holidays. So you can hold out till then. You'll be able to get it much cheaper, as well as my brushes. But the smudge brush is my brush, and it's the best way, really, that I like. For me, anyway. Everyone has a different style, or technique, but it is the best way to reorganize your values and blend without having to depend too much on your alt or color picker to blend with a brush. It's the equivalent of blending the way you would with a smudging tool, traditionally the way you would smudge your pencils. So this is the hourly reminder, hourly PBS pledge reminder. Please vote. Please vote your ass off. Vote once. You can vote by mail. It's perfectly safe. It's not fraudulent. That's just the bad orange man's way of making it to voter suppress, so that, you know, he wins. Please vote. Please vote. Future of this country, the future of everything you know, even the future of Critique Hour is in your hands. Please vote your asses off. You are making history. You are fighting back when you vote. You're putting your foot down. You are declaring that this is not how I like things, and I want things to change. I am a millennial. I am a generation, whatever it is nowadays, Z, X, Y, Z. I don't care. I am the youth of today, and I am being robbed of my future. Right. So please vote for the future. And it's not always about the present. It's not always about immediate gratification. You guys are artists. You're mature enough to know that things that are not always, you know, glorious immediately, that they're not necessarily things that won't have a reward later. So just because your vote is now and it feels like a real, just my vote was that vote like only your vote will change the world. And if everybody votes like that, we can get exactly what we want out of this country and out of the world. So please make sure you guys are voting. It is so important. People have died to get you your vote. It's not easy. It's not hard to know who the bad guy is today. Remember, every bad guy thinks they're a good guy, and every bad guy has followers who think they're a good guy. And just because there are people who have convinced you or lied to you and told you he's this weighted warrior, does not mean that that is true. Almost always anyone who talks that much about themselves is actually the bad guy. It's usually a sociopathic narcissism comes hand in hand with villainy. So please make sure you guys are going out and voting. So I'm just exaggerating the eye sockets. Oh yeah, and by the way, if you're a Trump supporter, please stop watching my videos. Please, if you're one of those that double down, if you don't like what I'm saying, if you don't agree with it, if you want to bully me and to stop talking about politics, you can't bully me. I'm the one person that you cannot bully. It's just not going to work. It's not possible. I've been trained and how to deal with bullies all my life. It's just not possible to bully me. So all you guys really have relied on is bullies because your leader is a bully and you've learned to bully because of him, calling people names, you know, all of that shit. Libtard, I've been called it. I've been called everything. So Easterbrak, you know, I'm just giving you ammo at this point. So it's not going to work if you don't like what I'm saying, if you don't like me telling people to go out and vote. Kindly prance your saggy ass the fuck off my channel, all right? So I fixed the impression of the eyeball in 3/4 view sticking out of the head. Alright, and then I'm connecting the eye socket back up. And I will get to the others, I promise. It's only 5:47, I've got some time left. So I feel like we pretty much preserved the general attitude of this, like, Victorian style beauty queen glamour shot. I think we pretty much preserved her general sass and her attitude and her personality while still investing into the painting, the perspective, the rotation, all that makes a realistic painting charming because it's real. It feels real because we've been there. You know, we know the realism. Feels like we've seen them before, or adding realism to a character we've never seen before makes us believe in them more, because that's the beauty of realism, is that you can create your own world. You can't create a world without physics and then expect us to believe it. And at that point you're talking cartoons and symbols, and then it's just like a metaphor of a character, not a real character. Do you know what I'm saying? Am I being a little bit too philosophical right now? Alright, so I'm just gonna start smudging everywhere. I'm gonna use my other smudge brush. It's like kind of a large haze. If you use it on super low opacity, like this is what you get. So it's a beautiful brush. It's one of my favorites. See that? It kind of gives you this haze over everything without disrupting edges. And that's where we're gonna get that thing you have everywhere right now, which is this really old photo looking grain. And I'm just going to use that everywhere that I don't want excess in detail. I kind of forgot to clean the mouth up a little more. And a little highlighter on the chin. I like her big chin. I think it does look like one of those ladies that we've seen in those paintings. My bad, I forgot to curl in the septum. The septum casts a shadow. The septum is that droopy bit in your nose. It casts a shadow too. Stop ignoring it. Give it a little bit of some attention. All right. So, are you guys ready for the before and after? Let's see what people are saying. Really a Marie Antoinette kind of character. Yeah, she left the underbite as a style choice mentioned earlier. I disagree. I think the valleys look pretty good. It's not that bad, but her face looks a little bit. Oh, it might be. Her head is tipped forward. Her chin would be squished in a bit. I think it is pretty squished. All right, so are y'all ready? Yes. Skyroar, did you message me on Facebook and Instagram? All right, so before, so you can see flattened features, after, elevated features. By flattened features, I mean this. You had a face, and you had features on the face, right? By elevated features, I mean you had a face, and then the features elevated outside of the face. So I'm going to just exaggerate it a little bit. So can anyone describe what I'm doing? Right, so there's this outer push. We've moved up. The face has here, and the features are orbiting around the face, meaning that there is a separation between the tip of the nose and the face, even though it connects back. Okay, I'll check again, Skyroar. That's really pretty rendering even in the before. Yes, I agree. Geometric anatomy as a denominator. Excellent. I think we're being like attacked by a bunch of like, you know how those like people swarm? It's like a swarm of like stream followers. So before, flattened features seem to be ironed out. After, the cheekbone, the eyeball, and the three-quarter view, the missing other side of the nostril, the cylindrical impression of the mouth all hint towards a three-quarter view rotation. There's still more I can do, but I have 3 other pieces to look at. I might have just enough time for 1 more piece, actually. Geometric volume, yes. Beautiful answer, Yasmin. That's what I added, the volume. The volume between it is the difference between a square and a cube. A square is flat, whereas a cube is volumetric, meaning that there is a z-axis. There is x, y, and z. Z is that beautiful thing that goes in and out of a photo. It's a picture. It's the in and out of something. It's the fillableness of something. You bring in water and you can fill a little thing with water. That's the volume. The volume is how you can fill something in. All right, so let's move on. Any further questions? I can delete greetings if it's too much. It's not too much. Hello. Hi. But I feel like they're a swarm. All right, and we've rotated the face more that way. That way. Okay, so before, after. Do you guys see that? And we've stacked the nose in front of the face. So what have we learned about three-quarter view? That it is halfway to a side view. So learn the profile view, learn the front view, learn the profile view, learn the front view, and then the three-quarter view is just the space you fill in between, and that's something your brain will figure out too. Hi, I have a question. I really like Christian arts from the 14th century and stuff, and back then perspective wasn't a thing, but still they made cool art, so are fundamentals really not necessary? Yes, they are. I agree, Corey. She just elevated it and made it better. It looks like the original intention. I love how you did the preserving the artist's original. Yeah, I like doing that because there is a charm to what these, what everyone is handing in. But there's also that annoying thing that happens when an artist doesn't do enough studies. So is it really the artist's choice, or is it the artist's lack of choice that resulted in the style? So if style is a result of, it's against your choice, it's against your better judgment, we can't call it a style. That's habit, that's mistake making, that's lack of skill. And an artist worth their salt wouldn't take credit for a style that was accidental, would they? That's just dishonest. So a style cannot possibly be accredited to an artist unless it was intentional. Do you understand the philosophy, everyone? So you can't call it style. Style excuse has never worked with me. I'm not the kind of teacher that takes that shit. If it's intentional, you'll have my respect. If I've seen, you know, some kind of like a deliberate pursuit to that style, of course, and a skill asset that is actually present in the student that I can depend on, a dependable skill set, then I'll know, yes, this was intentional rule breaking. But this doesn't look like intentional rule breaking. It looks like the result of unintentional, against my choice, against my will rule breaking. Not my will, the artist. And yeah, I think that's what was holding them back. Not enough forehead space, especially for a female. We need that forehead space in order for it to read as female. Females have a very dome-like forehead, and in the before, you did have that, but you closed the forehead space because you raised the eyes outside. So we really lowered the eyes down. Excuse me. Yes, like Picasso, he originally studied realism for most of his life. He was a pro as pros get. That guy was a pro as fuck. And if you look at his stuff that he did when he was a kid, I just don't even know how the hell. He must have been, you know, really brutalized into learning that realism, that he hated it so much as a form of his liberation. He broke every fundamental rule, and he was just drawing aliens. That's why you shouldn't just force a kid to be in, like, to study fundamentals, like, unless they really want to be an artist. Maybe he did want to be an artist, just wanted to, like, chill, but we would have had Picasso if he wasn't forced to be a perfect artist. So I guess things happen for a reason. Alright, so flatten the image. I hope this was a good 3/4 view. I guess I can call this video title 3/4 view, you know how to. Alright, so for this piece, I think you guys are just so scared of contrast when it comes to your paintings, but look at the background value. Like, come on. The background value is white as a Proud Boy's ass, but we've got absolutely almost no white where we need one for a light source signature here in white. So let us fix that. So don't think I should do it like this. I think that's a bad idea. Alright, so okay, perfect. So when we have a light source, especially if it's like outdoor light or natural light, it's always going to peak into the high, like that high magnitude white, that white that represents a light source that comes out of the sun, or a really strong light source, artificial light source like a lamp, an outdoor street lamp, or an actual candle in a scene that is rather dark, but you have one little candle. So when we're talking about anywhere where we have outdoor light, please don't be scared to raise the brightness, because that's what happens. Especially if it's a dark classroom type setting, which is what this looks like, or a bedroom. And we have, you know, all this silhouette for the narrative and the mood that you're describing. So this girl finally meets her dark shadow that has been protecting her, or she picked up a book and a shadow emerged from it to have a talk with her. Whatever. If I was a director, I would darken the room, place the light behind the two, and create that memorable meeting point in the narrative, in that plot-driven moment where the two meet and speak. So that's got to be a divine moment almost, and the presence of the light is a sense, adds sense of divinity to the scene. So what I'm doing here is I'm just going to bring in that bloom from the light, which is necessary because light isn't just brightness. Light is texture, meaning light has, it's a material, it's a something. So what did we, can some science major please help me? Light is particle, so it's matter, right? So it's a type of matter. I never bothered looking it up. But it is matter, and like metaphorically at least, just as a placeholder explanation, it's something. So it's got a lot of something occupying in that room. That's why we see things. So in order for us to make it feel like light is really present, we have to show its weight, its fat. And that's that soft brush. That's what soft brush can do. And of course, light doesn't pass through everything. It doesn't pass through opaque objects. There's different types of rays. There's X-rays that pass through. There's gamma rays that pass through fully and distort your genetic structure and kill your cells, and that's why gamma radiation is bad for you, because it goes right through you. But light just bounces off. UV light, right? Visible light. What is it? What is the spectrum again? You know what? Once I'm fucking all, I'm just gonna look. Light spectrum, waves, images. Let's just look at it. Let's just find it. All right, so we've got it here. Let's just wiki the bitch. Where are you? There it is. So we've got radio waves, microwaves, infrared, visible light. All right. So this is our baby right here. And then we've got ultraviolet, X-ray, and gamma ray. This is the scary shit that can pass through your bones. See how close X-ray is to that? And that's why I just don't do the X-rays in the airports, because God knows what kind of freaking cancer is waiting for me after all of those X-rays. So this is our visible light right here. This is as much as I wanted to prove today with that little science lesson. And so it doesn't pass through anything. All right. So what is it again? Light is texture. Light is a particle and a wave. Thank you. I heard somewhere scientists actually aren't sure what light is. I think light also catches the particles in the air, which gives it even more texture. Light, in order to pass through glass, it has a little reaction with the glass and then goes right through the glass. Light that, because it's like a, I forget why. I looked it up. Why does light pass through glass? Is it all the U? Because I was trying to see whether or not my plants would still get all the nutrients they need if it was through glass and not through direct sunlight. And they can, because it goes through them. I forget why, but it does. So this shirt right here, so I don't know, she's a little girl, so I don't know if I want to give her an ass, but it's kind of weird. But the dress itself is also going to get a lot of light passing through it. So I'm going to let some of that light pass through the dress as well. But I'm going to just ease up on it because I don't want it to be a fully see-through dress. She's probably wearing pants under anyway. So I just want to show how it's passing through just the base of the dress, because the light seems to be moving down. So I'm going to darken towards the top. And because it's not a sheer material, it's still like cotton or some, you know, practical material for dresses, I'm going to smudge away at the shadow of her silhouette. So it still looks like it's passing through, but it looks like a thicker material, you see? So you guys are not afraid to give me a big old white Trump rally white for the canvas border, but you can't give me Trump rally white for the magnitude of light in a painting. Why? Right? So it's better. It's better to show us the strength of that light in the scene. It just helps the scene out. So that's a quick little lesson on light and why you guys are having trouble with it. And sort of that lamp in the distance got some atmospheric perspective, but I guess I'm okay with that. How it passes through glass. It actually goes through, kind of just like says, excuse me, to the particles that make the glass, and it just goes through them. Is kind of what I surmised out of that explanation. Would the bed catch the light as well since the sheets are white? I think they would, but I think there is a point where the shadow of the window, actually, the light of the window doesn't reach the bed yet. It kind of just sits on the bed surface a little further forward. and doesn't fully shine light. Again, this would be only if the light was coming from the top. The desk is a little bit higher, so it may have gotten closer to the ray. Oh no. I got disconnected. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? All right. I think it would do something like that, but it would be further forward. Okay, so that's it for today. This is a pretty ambitious critique. I might have to do it on Tuesday, another day. So thank you everyone for coming today. I hope today was educational. A little bit about everything. Please vote if you haven't registered yet. I don't know if it's too late. I'm not sure, depending state by state. But line up, make a day of it. Get some picnic stuff. Get your umbrella. Make sure you stay hydrated. Get some good walking shoes or standing shoes or what have you. And go vote and change the world, please. This has gone on long enough, and it is a scary time. Please make sure you vote. Okay, everyone? To join us for our community critique, a cool spooky Halloween critique hour will be on Thursday the 20th. Am I a kindergarten teacher? I don't know. I wish I could be one. I love kids. But on the 29th will be our spooky critique hour. I will be taking a look at all your spooky creatures. So that'll be at 5 p.m. Eastern. Hand in everything on the Reddit. Go to istebrak.com and click on the Reddit icon. Hand in everything here. I'm already seeing some really, really cool submissions. So there's this cool rotten pumpkin Pokemon, which is really cute. And then we've got this, which is like a first sketch to October community so hard. Yes, it is, and that's a challenge. Any feedback's really appreciated. So I guess it's like a falls leaf. That's so cute. It's like a deer. I can't wait to see the others that you guys are building. If you guys want to support my channel, you want to support me directly, and you want to keep this channel independent, meaning I don't have any, I'm not muffled in any way. I don't have any content supervisors or anything like that. And I never will. And my classes will always be an hour long, and no one's ever going to put a cap on my class time and the information I send you guys. But if you want to keep this class independent, you want to help me in my desire to stay independent, you can join me on Patreon. You can join as a single $1 a month support, or you can join as $20 for an apprentice, or anything in between a 5 or 10. You get different educational material every month. We are doing challenges every single month, and there is this patron-only Discord exclusive challenge for Halloween right now, as well as the Harvest Season Challenge that we just finished, and the critique hours for both are coming up. So thank you everyone who has joined and who has answered the call and joined and supported my class. I really appreciate it very much. I'll see you guys on, hopefully health permitting, on the 20th at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Bye everyone.